What's up, everyone? How are we? Welcome back to another installment of Live. I've been away and I'll cover exactly why I've been away in just a minute. I didn't intend to leave you guys. It was an accident, I promise. But a very, very exciting accident, okay? Righty, I'm just going to write up the links. So in here, as always, I'm going to share with you guys the links to the Shred community. If you're not in there, get amongst it, okay? Craig, how are you, legend? It's good to have you back on the team, my man. Get you and Kira shredded. Rightio, Shred community link is up. Bam, and I'm just going to share this in the Shred community now. I can't multitask for shit, guys, so bear with me. Alright, we're going to get this done. And then we're going to get on to everything. So today we're going to be focusing hard on all your questions. Everything that you want to know, just ask it, get into it. Okay? Now, we're going to be covering a whole heap of stuff because we've got a lot to catch up on. And we've got Petey here as well. Good to see you, Petey. Alex, pleasure. So yeah, get all your questions in, comment them down, and we're going to go knock them all over one by one. Bang, this is all shared up in the Shred community. But how have you all been anyway? It has been a while, really, since I've done a proper Q&A. It's been about a week. So pretty much I've been over in WA in Melbourne. We've had a little bit going on over there. We're actually trying to make a proper community over in WA. So that we've got like all our clients, we can meet up, we can have barbecues and catch-ups and all that for everyone based in WA. And pretty much every major city we're going to do this, okay? Wherever you guys are. So if you want to nominate your city in your area to do JCF catch-ups, pretty much we'll do that. And I'll sort out one of my team and pretty much we'll put it on so every single person who's training with us can just catch up, go have a chat, talk about lifting, getting lean, all that sort of thing, okay? So that is what we're doing, and that is why I was away, okay? So I'm very, very excited about it because it means I'm going to get to meet a whole heap of you guys. How are you, Luke? Good to have you. Jess and Nate, good to have you guys. So yes, that's what we've been doing. On top of this too, we're actually releasing our own personal training. So we're having JCF personal training, which is face-to-face personal training. And this isn't just any old personal training. It's going to be in Perth. It's going to be in a very, very exciting facility over there, which is just coming out. And pretty much we're going to have like the highest level personal training standard that you can get over there. Okay? So we're bringing in everything. We'll be flying in experts to coach our PTs, to make sure that all of our guys are literally the highest level of PT ever. So if you want to know more about that, we're going to be talking a whole heap more about that in the future. And that's why I've been gone. I've been busy as I've been over there with Woodsy, Tomo and the team. Very, very exciting. So we're going to bring a whole heap of cool stuff to you guys that nobody else is doing whatsoever, okay? Matt, shout out from Hamburg. How are you, brother? I haven't had someone from Hamburg before. That's exciting. All right. But anyway, so today, one of the things that always mind boggles people when they train with me, right? That always gets them, is that I will tell them that in certain cases, if you want to get leaner, you need to eat more, right? Now, in the fitness industry, it's just drilled into us. You gotta eat less. If you wanna lose more fat, just eat less, eat fewer calories, that's it, okay? And to an extent, that is correct, 100%. To an extent, that is correct. However, with a lot of people, that just doesn't work. So there are plenty of you guys out there, right, who will be dieting, who will be on lower calories, okay, and you will not be seeing the results you're seeing, okay? If you're following your plan, if you are eating the correct amount of food, and you are not losing fat whilst in a substantial calorie deficit, okay, then you may be suffering from what happens with a whole heap of people, and that is excessive amounts of stress. So, pretty much, guys, what happens? When you are overly stressed, and then you start eating less, you become more stressed. A calorie deficit or a reduction in energy intake is actually very, very stressful on your body, okay? And the thing is, the longer you're in that stressful state, the worse it gets, okay? So if you're dieting for, say, 30, 40, 50 weeks, all right, and you're constantly in a calorie deficit and you're just not losing fat, well, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to just keep staying in that calorie deficit. You need to increase your calories. And I work with this with a lot of my guys and my girls who have had digestive issues, stress issues, and all that sort of thing, hormonal issues and whatnot. The best thing you can do is to increase your calories, to actually eat more. And what you'll notice is that as you eat more food, a greater volume of food, not only will you look a shitload better, but you'll also lose a whole heap of fat, okay? I'll use myself as an example here. When I was dieting for like 2 years straight, 18 months, 2 years straight, okay, towards the end bit, I was dieting harder and harder and harder and not getting any results. In fact, I was going backwards. So I looked better at the start of my preps than what I did at the end. In fact, I looked like absolute shit. What happened was I stopped losing fat, I gained a whole heap of water, and I got really, really puffy, particularly around my midsection, around my abs and on my love handles, okay? I normally walk around with veins up my abs all the time anyway, and when I was prepping and I was eating literally like 1,500 calories or less per day, plus doing cardio, plus training, I wasn't losing fat. And then funnily enough, after I got out of this, I started increasing my calories, and I increased them to about 2,500 calories per day. For me, that's not much, but I increased it to that, and I got a little bit of benefit, but not too much. And it's only recently, since I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get big, and I've banged it up to about 5,000 a day, that I've actually started getting much, much leaner. And that's because what I would say is that my maintenance calories are around 4,500 to 5,000 calories per day. And this happens with so many people. You see, when a lot of people are dieting, just constantly just dieting down, eating less, putting more stress onto the body, doing more cardio, doing more weights, eating less food, eating less carbs, all that sort of shit. They're sacrificing cheat meals, they're sacrificing sleep, and all those sorts of things, all right? They actually will benefit massively from increasing calories. Now, see, Ryan has just said here, does it have anything to do with stress having a cortisol inflammatory response? Yes, 100%, mate. The thing with stress is it does a whole heap of weird stuff throughout your body. It actually changes your thyroid receptor conformation. It changes the way your body responds to thyroid hormone, which is your metabolic rate regulator. It reduces your anabolic hormone. So guys, that's testosterone. In girls, it changes the way you react to your estrogen. It changes your cortisol. It changes your neurotransmitters. It changes your cravings for food. All that sort of thing. So yes, Ryan, exactly. It does have something to do with the stress response and the way which cortisol is reacting, okay? It will not do you any good to keep dieting harder and harder and harder and harder if you're not getting any results. That is why you bring your calories back up, okay? That is why you try and keep your calories as high and keep your food volume as high as possible all the time. Okay, so one other thing which we should go into there is that dieting on low calories isn't often fun. It's actually not often fun at all, because we start feeling like crap. We start getting cravings, we start losing motivation, we start losing direction, and we start thinking, why the fuck am I doing this? It really, really sucks. Nobody enjoys eating less food. And that's why it's important to maximize the amount of food. There are a whole heap of coaches out here, who will just say, no matter what, just eat less. Calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit. It is not the be all and end all, because the thing is that your body changes the way it expends its energy, the way it uses its energy, the way it does every single movement in response to what you put in, okay? And we can take this a step further, and we can say that when people just say, oh, just be in a calorie deficit and you lose fat, look, for general people, it's actually not gonna work. Okay, it's actually not going to work, because they will start thinking, oh sweet, I'll just shovel some pizza as long as it fits my fucking macros, or I'll have lollies, or I'll have, milk chocolate or whatnot, okay? You just cannot do that, because it ruins your gut, and when you ruin your gut, you ruin the way you expend energy, so you actually change your metabolic rate. On top of that too, yes, it completely ruins your hormones. So it changes your hormones, which again changes the way your body functions, and your body begins to function far from optimally, which is what causes the stagnant, stale progress, okay? So going back, what you need to do is you need to eat the most amount of calories possible and reduce stress, all right? Keep your stress as low as possible and leave the acute stress for the gym. That is what you need to do. On top of that too, you need to make sure that when you are maximizing your calories, you're not getting it from shit calorie sources. You're not eating Krispy Kremes and fucking ice cream and crap like that, which doesn't give you a positive effect on body composition, on how much muscle you hold and how much fat you lose, okay? You just need to maximize that. If you are more stressed, eat more food. Eat as much food as you can. If you're not losing fat on low calories, eat more, okay? It is going to help you. I have this with so many clients, and I tell them, like, dude, I'm going to bump your calories up by 200 or 500 or even 1,000 this week. And they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm like, dude, trust me. And when we do it, it's inevitable. It's a big drop in fat and weight as well, the other thing, which doesn't make any sense, does it? But it happens all the time, okay? So that is what you need to do. That is how you can lose more fat by eating more food, okay? Now, I'm going to go through some of the other questions which we got earlier this week in the Shred community. I'm going to scroll up here as well, so make sure that you comment any questions that you have, and we're going to go through it, okay? So we got asked in the Shred community, how long should we spend in the gym per day? And we've had answers between 15 minutes to 2 hours. The thing is, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter how long you spend in the gym, as long as you stimulate your muscles enough in order to encourage growth, okay? As long as you expend enough energy in order to encourage fat loss and energy expenditure and all the metabolic effects there, it really doesn't matter. You've seen some of the greatest bodybuilders of all time have spent literally 30 to 45 minutes a day in the gym for like 4 days a week and got superb results. On the other hand, I, perhaps not as genetically gifted, I've spent up to 4 hours a day in the gym and got really epic results. The thing is, you need to tailor it to you. So all my guys, we tailor it to you already. But for those of you who aren't with us, you need to tailor it to yourself. Now the next question we got is sugar-free lollies. Are they good? Okay. Sugar-free lollies are okay. So obviously they're fantastic for getting rid of the sweet cravings, but the problem with sugar-free lollies is that they're loaded with sugar alcohols, such as maltitol, I think that's how you say it, maltitol, sucralose, what are the other ones, xylitol, all those sorts of things. And when you consume large amounts of those, they ferment in your gut, and when you get fermentation in your gut, you get a paralyzed gut, and it just doesn't work as well at all. You start feeling like crap, you start getting bloated, you start burping, all that sort of stuff. It is not good. That is why you need to eat them in moderation and make sure that they're actually suitable for you. Some of you guys are just not going to be able to eat sugar-free lollies, period. I know I can't, all right? I remember one time I bought 2 bags of sugar-free lollies during a prep, and I drove from Sydney up to the Gold Coast, which is like, I don't know how many hours, I think it was 10 hours, 8 or 10 hours. Something in that range, and I finished off these 2 bags of it. By the end of it, I was bloated as fuck. I was gassy. I felt like crap. My guts were rubbish for like the next week. Okay, and that was a pretty good indicator that A, I overdid it, and B, they're not good for me. Even after then trying to eat them, having just a couple of them really set me off. So you need to decide if it's good for you to do. Sometimes going sugar-free will actually have a worse effect on your body composition and your fat loss than actually having the full sugar stuff in the first place. I mean, I get a lot of my guys onto sugar-free gummy bears. Sorry, not sugar-free, just like gummy bears post-workout. So heaps of sugar, getting in those carbs immediately after the workout, and they fucking love them. They're amazing. So that's another way you can get rid of those sweet cravings. Now, one thing that's a constant recurring thing that we see in the Shred community is mainstream media as an information source. Guys, you should not be getting any information from the mainstream media, okay? I've ranted on this before. The mainstream media have got no fucking idea about health and fitness. Media is good at being a business. That's what it's good for. They are good for pushing shitty products in infomercials. They're good for advertising. They're good for gaining your attention. And they're good for scaring the shit out of you and keeping you in a constant state of anxiety so you continue watching their program in order to solve that anxiety, okay? That is what they're good for. They have no fucking idea about facts, okay? None. Literally none. Any information about health and fitness that you see on the media is fucking bullshit. And this ties in to the next thing which I'm going to talk about. And that is gluten intolerance fake? Right? So we had someone ask, oh, look, here's this article about, a news article about gluten intolerance, and they say that everyone who isn't a celiac is not gluten intolerant. I can tell you right fucking now, when I eat gluten, I blow up, my gut goes to shit, I feel like crap, and I break out with small amounts of eczema and psoriasis in my face, alright? I think that sounds a little bit like an intolerance, doesn't it? I'm not celiac. I do not have the celiac gene. I do not have any of the markers for celiac disease, but I get a very bad response to gluten. It is just there. And the thing is, there's so many other people do. So just because some fucking idiot, some stupid journo, alright, thinks that, oh, I can interview a couple of people and say that gluten intolerance is fake, it doesn't mean it is, okay? Anyone who denies gluten intolerance is fake clearly has no fucking idea about health or anything like that, clearly has no idea about the effect of the glutens on zonulin in the digestive tract. Clearly has no idea about the effect of the pesticides used on wheat and the digestive tract. They clearly also have never worked with a substantial number of people. And the thing is, until you've worked with a substantial number of people, means that you can't really understand what actually happens in a population. Alright? And the other thing is they probably don't listen too. Now, Andrew McDonald's just asked, should you stick to a keto type diet if you're going to ramp up calories? No, you don't need to stick to a keto type diet if you're going to ramp up calories. One good thing about the keto diet is I see all the time that a lot of people can stay much, much leaner on a keto diet, right, than if they were to have a whole heap of carbs in it, okay? So they can eat more calories on a keto diet than what they can in general on a higher carb, more standard bodybuilding diet with a high percentage of protein and carbs in it, okay? That's what I see literally all the time and time again. Now the thing is with this is that with your keto diet, you need to make sure that your liver's really optimal before you start doing that. You need to make sure you've got sufficient stomach acid, and you need to make sure that your pancreas is functioning really, really well, all right, before you start doing it, because otherwise you're going to feel really, really crappy, okay? So they're my hints, Andrew. Sid Grish is asked, hey mate, what are your thoughts on RAD 140? Alright, RAD 140, guys, is a SARM, so a select androgen receptor modulator. I've had a couple of mates who've used it before, alright, and they've talked about it and they've said that, look, it's good, it gives you really, really good gains, you get a lot stronger, you get a lot bigger, but as for, on a comparison to anabolics, what these guys have, literally all of them have told me, is that it's just like nothing. It shuts you down, just like taking testosterone, but doesn't give you any of the results. I haven't taken RAD 140 myself, so I can't really comment, but that's going off people who I've worked with and some clients who've also taken it. Alright. Nikki Paulette. I'll talk to you later, big bun. Alright, next questions. What is the best pre-workout? Alright, I get this question all the time, guys. What is the best pre-workout? Now, when people talk about pre-workouts, they talk about this stuff like Jack 3D, Mesomorph, heaps of them. There are a whole heap of pre-workouts, like mainstream ones, even OxyShred, don't get me started on that brand. But pretty much what the mainstream workouts are is they're just a fuckload of caffeine with a couple of other fancy ingredients in really, really small amounts which don't do fuck all, just to make you more interested about the product. Literally, all those mainstream pre-workouts that you buy, they're caffeine. That's it. That's literally all of it. There's no special pump inducer, focus inducer, anything like that. It's just a fuckload of caffeine which overrides your nervous system, stimulates a shitload of dopamine and adrenaline, and keeps you going for the workout, then you die afterwards, okay? That is literally all those pre-workouts are. OxyShred is not going to get you shredded. It's going to make you sweat a lot because your heart's bloody racing because you've got so much caffeine in you. It's also going to give you a nice little bit of anxiety. It's also going to shoot your cortisol through the roof. It's also going to start disadvantaging your gut. But other than that, it really doesn't do shit all. Literally nothing. You know, Jack 3D with the old thing which used to have a heap of that DMAA in it. And it had 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine and a whole heap of DMAA. That is not going to help you at all. It's going to make you focused. But at the end of the day, why do you need caffeine? It's gym time. It's the best time of the day. How can you not be excited to go lift, even after the shittiest of days? In fact, that's when I have my best sessions. Back in the day when I was working in crappy jobs, I used to work in a tyre factory, guys. Worst job ever. Well, it wasn't the worst job ever, but it was hard, man. It was dark, it was dusty, it was dirty. I was inside all day, sweeping floors. That was it, all right? After that, every single day, I was just excited to get to the gym. Didn't matter how buggered I was just excited to get to the gym. And the more tired I was, the harder I'd push in order to make sure that session counted, okay? You don't need caffeine. What I recommend for a pre-workout is simply, these are just some of the ingredients I recommend. A bit of theocrine, right? A little bit of creatine, some BCAAs optionally, some tyrosine, perhaps a little bit of alpha-GPC or some acetyl-L-carnitine, then some arginine alpha-ketoglutarate, specifically alpha-ketoglutarate, and some citrulline malate. Alright, there are a couple of other ones in top there as well, but they're my top 7 things which I'd mix into a pre-workout for myself. Currently though, I'm literally just taking nothing. I walk into the gym, I fucking love every session. I train so hard that my pumps hurt, like I'm physically in pain from my pumps. So if you can do that, you don't even really need pre-workout. a little bit of fear. All right, next one. Do I need to take fiber supplementation? All right, good question. So one thing that I get literally all of my guys to take is just a small between 5 to 15 grams of psyllium husk per night. All right. The reason why I get them to take this is because it makes your bowel movements much more regular, and also a lot of people don't eat the required amount of fiber for their calories. Okay. The thing with fiber is that if you have lots of it or too much fiber, there are small amounts of downsides, but not really any, and it's only in specific people. If you're excessively stressed, you need to have less fiber, all right? If you have a GABA deficiency, you need to have less fiber. But other than that, it doesn't really matter. There's a bit of science out there to say that too much fiber will actually slow your nutrient absorption, I think it was, and reduce your progress, but I haven't seen that. And I've consumed like hundreds of grams of fiber per day. On the other side as well, as far as if you have too little fiber, what will happen is it's going to really screw up your gut. You're going to have a very suboptimal gut microbiome. You're going to get stomach pains. You will often get like tummy pains just in around there, and they get cramping and stuff like that. You're going to have poorer bowel movements, often loose bowel movements, all right, or no bowel movements, so you get constipated, all right. So pretty much, you don't need to have extra fiber. You don't need to supplement fiber if you're getting enough in your diet. It's just that most people don't, right? And that's why I always have just a small amount of psyllium husk, which gives you, an adequate amount of fiber to keep you going through the day. Now I've got to ask as well, how often should GABA be taken and how much? GABA, for those of you who don't know, is a neurotransmitter. It is the neurotransmitter which makes us sleep, makes us chill out, makes us calm down, makes us feel good, has a role in sex drive, motivation, all that sort of thing. And what I do is when I have people who are excessively stressed, I get them to take GABA, okay, in order to replace this, to bring down their stress. And by bringing down their stress, we actually bump up their natural GABA stores, and then we can actually ease them off the GABA eventually, all right, once they're feeling really, really good, okay? The thing is that not everybody needs to be taking GABA. Not everybody should be taking GABA. It's only in certain circumstances. So if you're really, really fucking stressed, you should be taking GABA in order to relieve that stress, to keep your brain functioning and stop you going and holding in fight or flight, okay? You can take it literally every single day. You can take up to 6 to 10 grams of the stuff per day because it doesn't perforate the blood-brain barrier. It sits around your muscles and relaxes them. And you can take it literally as much as you want. However, on the other hand, if you don't have a GABA deficiency and you don't need to take more GABA, don't do it because it's only going to slow you down, all right? So people who are too highly functioning, too stressed, too go, right? GABA is going to level you out and your function is going to improve. You're going to think a lot better, you're going to perform a lot better. However, if you're already mellow and you're already chilled and you don't have a GABA deficiency, right, what it's going to do is going to bring you down, all right? It's going to slow you down, it's going to make your workouts shit, make you sluggish, all right? So you need to find out who you are before you start using GABA. Tim Nesbitt, is it worth training for your predominant muscle fiber type, fast or slow twitch, or better to periodize and mix up rep ranges? That is an awesome question, dude, and that is one which I can't actually give you the best answer because I see results from both. The thing is, guys, is that when you train, you have, or in your body, you have a whole lot of muscles which are what we'd either call, type 2X, type 2A, type 2X, type 2A, type 2B, and then type 1, okay? Type 1 is your slow twitch, so that's like your marathon running fibers. Type 2 A and B, they're like the middle of the road type things. They're like your 400 to 800 meter runner things where you're kind of quick movements, but you've also got a bit of endurance with them. And then type 2X is when you've got like explosive Usain Bolt type things, all right? Now type 2X, if you're predominantly fast twitch, which is type 2X, you've got a lot of dominance in that, you're gonna grow really, really easily because those muscles easily hypertrophy. Whereas the marathon runner ones, you're gonna have a much harder time, okay? So what we wanna do out of that is we do want to certainly train to your predominant strength to a certain extent. This is a massive contradiction, by the way, guys. I know I'm going to contradict myself in that, so I'll just get it out of the way and say that. But you do want to train to those to your advantages. So if you feel you are more of a type 2X, a fast twitch, you do want to lift heavier weights, lower reps. But at the same time is that the muscle fibers will all be recruited if you end up going to absolute failure, okay? So pretty much what happens is there's this big curve which as you lift heavier and you approach failure, more and more muscle fibers get recruited, okay? So if you have a whole heap of fast twitch fibers, first it's going to still recruit the slow twitch, the ones which are not neutered, the less higher threshold fibers, all right? And then as you go closer to failure, more and more of the higher threshold ones are going to go. So what I say really, my best answer to that, Tim, is that yes, you should periodize. Yes, you should train for your predominant muscle fiber type. You can do both. But you need to make sure that you're going to failure, or at least close to failure, so you can stimulate those higher threshold fibers for optimal gains, because they're the ones which are going to grow the fastest. Timmy Donovan, is HIIT training good to do to keep your body fat percentage low? Yes, HIIT is great. I've heard some PTs knocking on HIIT and saying HIIT is not good for fat loss. I'm like, maybe read a study, brother. The thing is, when you do HIIT training, okay, it's actually shown that it will directly stimulate the loss of abdominal fat, okay? So it will keep your abs out if you're doing HIIT training. There's science behind it to show that people who do HIIT versus, I think it was steady state, and they compared the equal calorie burning, all that sort of stuff, and they showed that HIIT actually stimulated more abdominal fat loss than regular steady state did, okay? So yes, HIIT is great for that. Right? It also has other benefits, including like it actually can stimulate muscle growth. It can stimulate, production of new healthy mitochondria, which are like the energy sources for your body. It also feels fucking awesome. All right, improves your performance in the gym, all that sort of stuff. Okay, that's why HIIT's really good. So yes, HIIT is great to do, but only in some people. All right, so this is where the contradiction comes in. If you are somebody who froths HIIT, loves sprinting, loves running, that's like me. All right. You can do HIIT for days and it's going to be sweet. If you don't, if you're a marathon runner, you're going to die after doing like 5 sets. And if you're doing multiple HIIT sessions through the week, you're actually going to get symptoms of overtraining. You're going to crash and burn. You're going to burn out your neurotransmitters. Okay, so you need to be really careful of that. The next question I got. Are ibuprofen, or what is my stance on ibuprofen and anti-inflammatories? So things like, ibuprofen, Nurofen, Panadol, that sort of shit. It's shit, all right? Anything that's an anti-inflammatory, any pharmaceutical anti-inflammatories which directly inhibit inflammation, such like what NKFB, NKFB, any of those things. If they directly inhibit the pathways of inflammation, they're not good. Things like curcumin or berberine, which are anti-inflammatory, they do it differently. So the herbal ones don't directly inhibit inflammation. They actually stimulate our own body's inflammatory response to improve our response to inflammation versus stopping inflammation at the bud, okay? That's where the big difference is. And taking these anti-inflammatories, all right, is not going to be good for you at all, right? All but aspirin. I've got a little protocol for aspirin for all my anti-aging guys. But taking these things in large doses are going to actually send you backwards. The thing is, when you take anti-inflammatories, you stop the body's healing process. So if we step right the way back, okay, and we look at what inflammation is doing, right? Inflammation is responding to cellular damage. It is responding to stuff which has broken your body. When your body's got tiny little fractures in it, inflammation is the glue. And what you do by taking an anti-inflammatory drug is you stop the glue from working. So when you get a windscreen or let's go a door or something that's broken, and you just patch it up. And you fix it up and you sand it off and it's all sweet and it's all good to go, and then you can leave it there and it's just as strong as what it was in the first place, all right? That's what inflammation's doing. You're literally, by taking anti-inflammatory, you're stopping it from healing. That's why when people say, oh, you've got a sprained ankle, take some anti-inflammatories, take some Voltaren, all right? Take some Voltaren pills. That's fucking retarded. Like, honestly, it's really stupid because you're stopping the healing process. The same with putting cold onto an area, like ice packs and stuff like that. Why would you do that? Why would you want to stop blood flow, which is carrying all the nutrients and everything that you need in order to heal? You want heat into there. The bloody Chinese figured that out thousands of years ago, and yet our numbnuts, medical practitioners, are out there saying, oh no, put ice on it, you don't want more swelling. Fucking oath you want more swelling because you want to heal it. You don't want it to get more damaged, alright? So no, anti-inflammatories are bad. There is no instance in when you need them. To add insult to injury, literally, is that when you take non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, such as Voltaren, it damages your gut. It stops your gut from working properly and actually can contribute to leaky gut. All right? So they're shit. Don't bother with them. All right, next question. Hey Noob, do you personally write the diet and training plans for your clients? Yes, I actually do design every single training program, okay? I've got a team who I write them with. So as far as the physical data entry, yes, I have a team, but every single diet plan is designed by me, okay? Next one. Sid Drish, do you recommend a mass gainer to get bigger? No, I don't recommend mass gainers at all. Okay, the reason why I don't recommend mass gainers is because they're a waste of money, right? What they are is they are overpriced, low quality sources of calories. If you want a mass gainer, here's what you do. Go out and buy a whey protein, okay? Go out and buy some dextrose, buy some olive oil, buy any other butter, anything like that, okay? And pretty much what you do is you then mix them all up and that's your own mass gainer, okay? You don't have to spend $40 or $50 per kilo for stuff which is worth $3 per kilo. Literally, the mass gainers are filled with like that much protein. That much protein is worth like what, $15 to $30 per kilo, right? And then it's got a whole heap of dextrose in there, a whole heap of sugar, which is worth about $3 a kilo, okay? And so pretty much throughout this whole thing, they're gonna charge you around $40 per kilo for these mass gainers, okay? Whereas, on the other hand, whereas it's cost them literally bugger all. So you just paid a shitload more for a lower quality, less expensive product. So no mate, I do not recommend a mass gain for getting bigger. Eat more food, eat more calories. Go down to Big W. If you live in Australia, go to Big W and get yourself some dextrose from the brewing aisle. That's what I do, alright? I was a student, I used to bodybuild off like $150 to $200 per week, okay? And that's how I did it, by not going out and buying all the generic bullshit, alright? Not buying all that crap, buying actual quality stuff. Ryan Greg, how beneficial is it to have a break from training from time to time to give your muscles a break? Or is training 4 to 5 days a week consistently throughout the year fine? Great question, man. That depends on you. The time when you need a break is when you need to recover from stress, right? I've had a whole heap of my guys recently who've come from some other coaches and they've been put on a whole heap of stress, like low calorie diets, stupid amounts of exercise, all those sorts of things, okay? And what I've done is I've told them, like, dudes, you need a break. You need to just have a week off, 10 days off, whatever, because you're stressed the shit out. And now we're like, 5 days into the break and they're all getting leaner, right? So if you're overstressed, then yes, it is very beneficial to take a break from time to time. Very, very beneficial, okay? However, if you're not, if you're feeling good, then go for it, man. Train for 4 to 5 days a week, all year round, every single year. If you can take it, that's fine. There's nothing wrong as long as your stress levels are not, overcome and they're not too much. All right. Braden, love your advice, mate. Phenomenal physique too. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Look, guys, on that note, I'm going to leave you all to it. I will be back, all right? So I'm not sure about Sunday night if we're going to be back on. I'll let you guys know. We'll put up a post in advance. But Monday, we will be back. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all those, we're going to be back. And Tuesday's my birthday. Don't miss Papa Shred's birthday, all right? Wish me happy birthday, because it made me feel special. So yeah, on that note, I'm going to leave you all to it. If you want us to discuss anything, if you want us to go over anything, comment it up. Leave it in the Shred community. Let me know and I'll talk about it. I just want to make you all bigger, shredded, stronger, and better people, okay? I'm going to never stop until that's happened. All right, guys, I'll leave you to it. I'll speak to you soon.